I'm Lindsay Keogh, and this summer I'm claiming my adventure. I am hiking the John Muir Trail, all 220 miles, as a solo female hiker. I first heard of the John Muir Trail about 6 years ago. I just finished up a cross-country camp in Mammoth, and my family and I continued like our own family vacation afterwards. And we came across this guy who was hiking the John Muir Trail, and I had never heard of it. And I didn't even realize like people did that, like that long of a trip anyways. So I always kept it in my mind, like I want to come back and do this. And then when I read that book Wild a year ago about the female hiker who did the PCT solo, I thought, well, I don't have enough time or resources to do the entire PCT, but I can do the John Muir, which is a section of it. So I just decided to do it, like she did it, why can't I do it? I'm starting in northern Yosemite. It's a place called Happy Isles. That's the northern terminal. And you start there and you're in the valley of Yosemite, and then I think the first like 20 miles you like climb like 4,000 feet, which is a brutal climb, everybody says. So I'm doing that in the first couple of days, I guess. The challenges are something that have been a challenge since I quit running. So being like committed and getting up out of bed and going running, and like each day making sure that I do what I can to make sure I'll be physically prepared and mentally, that's really challenging. This is the first week where I've been like, hey, like physically, like I'm gonna totally be able to do this. So most of my training has just been, I try to get out on a hike or two each week, anywhere local. I come here a lot because there's a lot of good surrounding peaks. I've climbed up to a couple of those up there. And a lot of my training too has consisted of running, because it's a great cross training. Supplements my hiking well. So 5 days a week I go for runs, and then the other 2 I try and hike. And I'll go anywhere from, like today I did a little shorter hike up in Baldy. It was 7 miles, but it could be up to 14. Hopefully it'll be up to 20 before I go. I'm about to reach the summit. Oh, it's really cold. Whew. My hands are numb, but I'm almost there. Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh my God. Woohoo! Alright. San Antonio, Mount Baldy, elevation 10,064 feet. Ow, ow! Oh, my hands are cold. Whew. You wouldn't believe how cold it is up here. Oh, panorama. Yay, I did it! I'm getting off this mountain. Reactions are not positive. But almost every person that I say, oh yeah, I'm doing a solo hike, and they're like, what? Like, oh, that's stupid, like they just think it's dangerous, they think it's impulsive, but they wouldn't say the same thing to a man. A lot of people haven't heard of this trail, so when they hear of a female solo hiking 220 miles in a remote area, I don't get a good reaction. I'm sure it would be easy for somebody who has already done something like this, but I have 0 experience. But it does get really overwhelming because there's so many different choices, and each category of gear you've got like so many different ways you could go. So you really have to weigh out your options, figure out what is important to you along the trail. The choices that I'm making, it's hard for me to make because I don't know what I'm gonna like and dislike because I haven't done it before. But it's kind of nice because it just kind of minimalizes like your entire life, like simplifies everything. Total weight that I'll probably expect to carry is about 30 pounds. So this is a bear vault, or bear canister, I guess. I have to have one of these for Yosemite because that's their rules. Actually, in like Yosemite and Kings Canyon. But you have to pack all of your food in this. It's like a bear-proof canister because apparently they have a lot of problems. The bears there aren't like scary or anything, but wow, that is enormous. I have to hike with this. I haven't seen one of these before. This is my stove. Yeah, it's so small. It attaches to a canister like that. I don't know where you would buy it, but it looks like this. See this guy? Except it's way smaller because it's only for me. And then my little little cooking ware just sits right on top of it. This book actually has sections for both people. So for me, it's starting in the north, and it goes from Happy Isle to Tuolumne. And this is section 1, and it will go all the way from north to south. But if you wanted to start in the southern section, you just flip to the second half of the book, and you could start from Whitney Portal and go north. So it's kind of a cool aspect. I'm thinking about maybe ripping off the second half of the book so I don't have as much weight in my pack and just carry this first section. I just really want to get away. I want to get away from like society and civilization and not be around people and standards and all of that. I think the hardest part will probably be me being alone for 17 days because I'm such a people person. But I'm excited about it. I think it'll be good to get away, kind of just get a new perspective on things. But I'll miss it. I'll miss city life. The most unnerving thing is that I don't do it. For me, this trip is about conquering my fears and beginning a new lifestyle. I don't like to do things that everybody else does. I like to do it my way.